When Draymond re-signed with the Warriors this summer, it was assumed that it was the last bit of free agent rumor drama they would have to deal with their big three. But Woj is reporting otherwise.
I'm told that there has been absolutely no progress on a Klay Thompson extension in Golden State, that they are both still apart on years and money.
But Warrior fans, I think there's no need to panic, as we actually just heard Klay speak on this 5 days ago in an article from The Athletic, where he says, and I quote, "Yes, absolutely. I wouldn't want to go anywhere else. To play for one franchise, man, that's so rare. To play for one club is insane. It's some real legendary stuff. Even what Udonis Haslem did, he's revered in Miami. That's what I cherish. People from Northern California, or Warriors fans in general, are just so prideful about the Warriors. And I was here before banners were hung up. So in a way, it's our baby. You want to ride it out. I've just been so lucky to be a part of this franchise. It'd be so hard to envision myself in another uniform." So Woj, man, what are we doing here? Because that kind of smells like cap. And also from this same Athletic article, it says that he's not oblivious to the circumstances or desperate to grapple for every available dollar, as well as himself personally saying, "I've made my money, but when I started playing this game, I never once thought I'm playing because I'm gonna be rich and famous. Never did." Yeah, doesn't sound like someone planning to leave the Bay Area anytime soon. And after all, this is a part of the reason why they did trade Jordan Poole, so they could pay Draymond that $25 million annually he got this July, and so they can pay Klay a similar number when he hits free agency this upcoming summer. And honestly, these rumors fans are pushing just sound like NBA fans who don't want him on the Warriors anymore for all they've accomplished. Like, only someone people are really envious of their success, like Klay, would get hate for successfully coming back from back-to-back major lower body injuries, then immediately help them get back to the finals and ultimately win a championship 5 months after his return, where he played in all 22 playoff games, averaging 36 minutes per game. And then this season, everybody clowns him for being so bad, but he averaged a career-high 22 points per game on over 41% from three. Crazy. And speaking of veteran stars who are being disrespected, Russell Westbrook and Kyrie by ESPN, as they just dropped their top 100 NBA players list, and people are not happy about it.
Expert analyst, my man, you horse. Y'all came together and put this list together, all you idiots. Show me 93 other people better than Russell Westbrook in the NBA.
I'll wait.
You got 2 people on the list that ain't played one NBA minute.
Now, the 2 rankings that I want to get into first are Kyrie being ranked 34th and Ja 35th, which we know have actually nothing to do with basketball. And then also, like you just heard Kenyon hilariously rant about, Scoot and Victor Wembanyama, 2 guys who haven't yet logged any actual NBA minutes, being ranked ahead of Russell Westbrook, who is at number 94 on the list. Now, I don't know if this is controversial, but I don't know how much higher Russ actually should have been. I would personally say 60s or 70s, although after seeing what he did in last year's playoffs when Kawhi went down, I can definitely see why we're getting some of the reactions we did. But still, the real crime here is Kyrie at 34 and Ja at 35, when we all know they should both easily be in the top 20, maybe even higher. Now, since I had no good transition, I'll just awkwardly talk about Dame making his unofficial Bucks debut, as you see in the screen behind me, last night in LA. And while it did look pretty weird to see him in a new uniform, it was the same old on the court.
Damian Lillard one-on-one against Christie, and Lillard split. We're tied again at 53, under a minute to play in this first half. Damian Lillard with the and one.
Now, there really isn't much else to talk about last night from his debut. These don't count in the win-loss column yet. Now, last bit of news, we had some really funny NBA quotes yesterday. Like Rudy Gobert saying yesterday that he finds it weird why Evan Fournier doesn't get minutes for the Knicks, saying, quote, "He's the best shooter on the team. I think he can contribute and help a lot of teams. I think everybody knows it, but it's kind of weird when you end up on the bench and you don't really know why." Oh, really? We don't know why. I don't know. Maybe, just maybe, Rudy. It's that the Knicks went 10-13 with him in the rotation last season, a 82-game pace of a 36-win season. Then New York makes that rotation change, and they finished the year 37-22, which is over a 51-win pace, and I watched like 50 of these games as a Knicks fan. And it's pretty ironic that a 3-time depoy can't understand why someone who's a defensive liability can't see minutes. But shout out to Ev. Seems like a cool guy. You know, I actually saw him in the city once. And I also will say, if the Knicks were doing him so quote unquote dirty, don't you think that in the span of it's been like a year now, almost a year, that a team would have traded for him? They didn't at the deadline. They didn't this whole offseason. Like, there's a reason why clearly all the other teams didn't trade for him, and the Knicks would have gave him up for a bag of chips. Then the other crazy quote from today, Steve Clifford, Hornets head coach, calling the squad a quote, good team. Now look, I know they won 43 games 2 years ago, and now they're adding Brandon Miller to that, but this is the classic, our team looks quote unquote good on paper, so that's why we'll be good. Like, when will people realize that every team looks good on paper? I mean, I've even seen people say how the Blazers look great on paper, and they're gonna finish bottom 3 in the West this year? The same thing was said about the Pistons last year. They still finished dead last in the East. Like, every team has multiple good players that make you think like, damn, they might actually be good. And then tell me, what teams are the Hornets gonna be better than in the East? Maybe the Wizards, and they have JP, Kuz, Tyus Jones. The Bulls, maybe? I don't know. Who? Not the Magic, not the Pacers. I don't know who else. Like, that is my exact point. Trust me, as a Knicks fan who had to deal with like 6 rebuilding teams in a row, each year I would be like, oh yeah, our team's good. We got Porzingis, we got, we got Ron Baker. Like, we would, that was a joke. But like, we would always have like these rosters like, maybe we could be good. All the rebuilding teams fall in this exact trap. All right, that's enough. I'll leave you on a positive note though, with some motivation from Dwayne Wade's Instagram AI character. And the reason why I'm reading off this like teleprompter is because I can't believe this is real. Like, he is an AI character, and I'm not kidding.
Let's push it to the limit.